Good morning, children. Welcome to my class, math class. So, to become the best student in mathematics, today we are going to learn the first chapter of the 10th class, the real numbers. So, in this chapter, first the introduction. So, actually, what are real numbers? Real numbers. Before learning about real numbers, let us first learn about what are real numbers. First of all, let us know about the natural numbers. Which are denoted with capital letter N. Actually, what are natural numbers? Natural numbers are nothing but the counting numbers. If I ask you to count some items which I have given you, from what number generally we start? We start counting from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. If your teacher asks you to count how many students are present on that particular day in your class, then from which number you start? The first boy or girl in your class. So naturally from 1. We naturally count from 1. Therefore, natural numbers are nothing but counting numbers which start from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this, up to where? So which is the greatest number? So there is nothing like a greatest number. Whatever the number you think that it is greatest number, when you add 1 to that particular number, you will get the greater number than that particular number. So there is nothing like a greatest number. So therefore we call it as infinite. So the set of natural numbers are infinite. Okay. After that, whole numbers. Whole numbers are denoted. Whole numbers are denoted with W. Now what are whole numbers? So whole numbers which start from 0 and the remaining all the numbers are natural numbers. So the natural numbers with also the natural numbers along with 0 are whole numbers. Okay. Why? Because 0 has an important place in mathematics. Before the invention of 0 only, the mathematics took its turn, and it is now the vast mathematics now which the world has. Therefore, the 0 has an important role in mathematics. Therefore, the numbers starting from 0 are called whole numbers. Now next comes integers. Next comes integers. What are integers? And integers are denoted with what are integers? Now, along with the whole numbers, there are also some other numbers which are required in mathematics. So, we are thinking that the 0 is the smallest number of all, but there are so many numbers which are smaller than 0. Now minus 1, so which is smaller than 0, and minus 2 which is smaller than minus 1, and minus 3, and so on. So there are infinite negative numbers. That means there is nothing a number like the smallest number of all. So therefore these are called integers. That means what are integers? So in integers we are having natural numbers, and we are having, if you start from 0, then from 0 they are whole numbers. But what are extra in this? Which numbers are extra? The negative numbers. So we use negative numbers in so many instances. Why? Because we call the temperatures which are less than 0. 0 degrees is the freezing point. The water becomes ice at 0 degrees centigrade. And also if the temperature is less than that, then that is called negative temperature. So we find minus degrees temperature also in polar regions and in the Himalayan region, or in the highest altitudes where the water vapor contained in the air becomes into ice. Okay, and also we use negative numbers in many more situations. Okay, therefore negative numbers are also a part of mathematics. Okay, now after that, rational numbers. After that, rational numbers. What are rational numbers? So they are denoted with Q. What are rational numbers? The numbers which can be expressed in the form of P upon Q or P by Q, where P and Q are integers and Q is not equal to 0. So this is the definition for rational numbers. The numbers which are expressed in the form of P by Q, that means the numbers like the fractions, for example 1 by 2, okay, or 3 by 4, or minus 2 by 3, okay, or 0 by 5. So these type of numbers are called rational numbers. Okay, so in the coming classes you will be getting more information about the rational numbers. So the how would you differentiate the rational numbers from irrational numbers in your coming class sessions? It will be explained in detail. Okay, so now we have learnt about natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, rational numbers. Now after that we get irrational numbers. Irrational numbers, they are okay, they are denoted with q dash. And what are irrational numbers? The numbers which are not rational. The numbers which are not rational numbers are called irrational numbers. The numbers which are not rational are called irrational numbers. Or so if you want to learn in detail about the irrational numbers, the numbers we can also express the natural numbers, that is we can also express the rational numbers like these numbers in the form of decimal numbers. The decimal numbers will be generally suppose if you want to express 1 by 2, which is in rational form. Suppose 1 by 2, what is the meaning of 1 by 2? 1 divided by 2. So if you want to divide 1 by 2, now 1 is smaller and 2 is greater. So you put 0 and put one decimal, take 1 0 here. 2 5s are 10. That means 1 by 2 can be expressed as 0.5 in decimal form. Okay. Now if you want to express 1 by 3 in decimal form, when okay, so when 1 is divided by 3, then here also put decimal, take 1 0, 3 3s are 9. Again we are getting reminder 1, take another 0, so 3 3s are 9. So like this we will be getting 3 infinite times. Okay, you will be getting the remainder 0. This is 0.3333, like this infinite times. Now this can be written as which number, which numeral is repeating? 3 is repeating, that is called recurring decimal, recurring and non-terminating, whereas this 0.5 is called a terminating decimal. So this is called terminating decimal. Okay, terminating, that means here it is stopped here, therefore it is called terminating decimal. And here 0.3 is recurring, therefore we can put a bar upon 3, then this is 0.3 bar. Okay, and this type of decimals are called non-terminating and recurring decimals. Non-terminating and recurring decimals. Okay, now we have gone through two types of decimal numbers, terminating decimals and non-terminating and recurring decimals. These two are what type of numbers? These two are rational numbers. These two are rational numbers. Okay, these two are rational numbers. Okay, now then there are also some other numbers. For suppose if you get a number like this 0.2123670 186 like this. So here this is also a decimal number which is non-terminating, but it is non-recurring. That means we cannot use a bar here. That means the decimals are not repeating. Therefore, this type of numbers, generally these are the values of root 2, root 3, root 5, so like that. So these numbers are called irrational numbers. These numbers are called irrational numbers. Irrational numbers. Okay, and now all these numbers, that means natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, rational numbers, irrational numbers, these all are called real numbers. These all are called real numbers. Okay, so in real numbers these numbers are there. We can draw now a Venn diagram of real number. That means suppose if this box is real numbers, this box is real numbers box, and in this real numbers there are rational numbers and irrational numbers. And in these rational numbers there are integers. And in integers there are whole numbers. And in whole numbers there are natural numbers. Okay, and so this is the introduction class of about the real numbers. Okay, now in the next class we shall be learning about the division algorithm, Euclid's division algorithm. Okay, so thanks for watching my class.